Who is this irresistible creature who has an insatiable love for the dead?
Hello guys, this is your fright chick speaking, and today we're going to be reviewing Dracula 2000. Now, I'd like to point out a little thing that I've noticed, and I'm sorry about the whole face disappearing thing with this shitty camera, but yeah, this is Dracula 2000, and everywhere you look it says Dracula 2000, came out in 2000, December 22nd, 2000. So why does it say Dracula 2001 on my box? I honestly don't know why it says that. It says 2000 everywhere else I've looked. That's weird, okay? But at the end of the day, it doesn't change the fact that this is an awesome movie, no matter what year it came out. Yeah, so Dracula 2001 stars Gerard Butler in one of his sort of roles before he got really famous, you know, pre-300, shall we say. Yeah, it didn't break bank. I mean, they spent 54 million on this and it only made 47, but that's not too bad, I must admit. You know, so it wasn't like a huge success, but this film does have a good cult following. The basic premise of this movie is that Abraham Van Helsing captured Dracula in the late 19th century, early 20th century, I'm not sure. He captured him because he could not find a way to kill him, like the infected vampires of his line. So he captures him and puts him in a silver coffin and then keeps him at what I assume is Carfax Abbey, as they refer to it as the Abbey. 100 years later, he now owns an antique shop along with another guy who works for him called Simon. Simon features prominently in the movie, as does a woman called Selina who works for him. Now Selina and her posse, because I don't quite know what else to call them, gang, I don't know, they decide to break into Van Helsing's secret special vault to find his most treasured possessions. What they don't realise is that his most treasured possession is actually the coffin that holds Dracula. They inadvertently steal it and set him free. Now, Van Helsing decides to follow them and try to recapture Dracula. Simon also follows him without him knowing. And on a little side plot that actually becomes the main plot, Van Helsing has a daughter that he hasn't spoken to for about 12 years. Because he's been keeping himself alive by putting leeches on Dracula's body and then injecting the blood into himself, his daughter was born sort of part of Dracula. She's got part of his blood in him. So Dracula, once he's woken back up, decides to go and find her. So we follow her, we follow Van Helsing, and we follow Dracula. It's a really good movie. I liked it. I mean, I didn't think it was too full on. I didn't think it was too ridiculous. The origin of Dracula in this movie is fucking epic. I mean, it's really good. Like they thought of an awesome like person for him to have been in the past, you know, the reason about how he came about, why he doesn't like silver, why he doesn't like crosses, all of that kind of stuff. They made an awesome concept for that. I don't think I've written anything down that's worth knowing other than the plot and stuff. I think my notes are pretty much bare in that respect. I mean, yeah, it's a basic plot, you know, recapture Dracula. I mean, the seduction and kills and stuff are very good. Gerard Butler does a great job of his accent, I must admit. And I think the general sort of stunts, you know, and vampire effects and things, they're very watchable. They're not too cheesy or anything like that. You know, it's very good. Pros of this movie, like I said, brilliant origin of Dracula, wonderful origin of Dracula. The journey of the movie is very subtle. It doesn't get boring or anything. You know, it just kind of builds and builds and builds and builds. But it's very good. The cons, it did fall a little flat, I must admit. I think they could have done a bit more with it. I'm not too sure what that is, but I do think that maybe it could have been a little bit darker. Like, they could have given Dracula a little bit more to say or a little bit more to do, because a lot of the time we're following everybody else at the suggestion that he's around the corner. My favourite line from this comes from Selina. I think I've got the line down right. She basically says to Simon, who is British and she's American, she says something like, when she gets turned into a vampire, she says, "You Brits, you want a romance, you Brits want a sweet talk, I just want to suck." And I was like, fuck, that is so cheesy, but it's so good. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Dracula 2000 / 2001. I suggest you go buy it. It is actually a decent watch. And I will see you next time for another horror review. Bye!